Wake Up to Politics is a daily political newsletter that offers a nonpartisan and comprehensive look at the latest news. It was founded by our guest, Editor-in-Chief Gabe Fleisher, in 2011. All right, so 2011 was 7 years ago, and how old are you right now?
I'm 16.
Okay, so you were 9, 10 when
That's
you...
right.
So okay, I can't even imagine that. But let's back up for a minute before we go into your history. So this Wake Up to Politics is a daily blog. It's in newsletter or email format. Every single morning, you get it out the door at what time?
I send it about 7:30 a.m. each morning.
7:30 a.m. each morning. So going back to 2011, same?
Pretty consistent. Yeah, I've always kind of woken up early and started. So I started the newsletter sending it to my mom, and she kind of sent it to friends and family. Kind of grew and grew from there. But
so you sent it to your mom across the house?
Pretty much,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're writing a little email for your mom, and what was the point of that?
Well, I first really got interested in politics and history during the 2008 elections, and kind of just got fascinated by presidents and by politics. And I've always really loved to read and write, and so I kind of just started writing it as kind of like a little summary of what I was reading in the news, and so I sent it to my mom, just what I was thinking about,
yeah.
what I was reading, and she kind of sent it to more people, and it's grown from there. Now about 50,000
so you were
subscribers.
6, 7 years old during that election, and even at that young age, it affected you so much that you developed this very strong interest. And do you ever look back at those early ones and to see what they look like, how you wrote?
I definitely, I hope I've grown since then. It definitely is. It's a little bit of a different format, little different content. But I mean, the goal of the newsletter has always been roughly the same. I've always covered national politics, news about the White House, Congress, courts, elections. My goal has always been to kind of offer, kind of an understandable version of the news, but not dumb anything down, but kind of comprehensive and understandable. And that was my goal when I was sending it to my mom before she went to work, and it's my goal now sending it to whoever's reading it, in the time they have, whether people are, consumers of a lot of political news, or, for some people it's the only thing they read in a day.
Yeah,
so.
right. And no one reading it would know a 16-year-old is writing it, except for one little clue, which is I'm writing this from my bedroom, which is not something you would typically see somebody write who's behind a political news desk, for instance. So, but it's awesome. It's great that you don't hide that from your viewers. You're very out there with who you are and what you're doing, and you're here willing to speak to us about all of this too. And it's great to see the strong interest that you have and how you're helping so many people. 50,000, is that an accurate number?
About 50,000, that's right.
Okay, so just starting with your mom and her friends and going out to the neighborhood and whoever, it's just grown that much. So how do you feel when you get a new subscriber, and how often does that happen?
Well, I mean, I get new subscribers each day, and it feels really great, and it's always really exciting. Like I said, my goal has always been the same, so I don't really try to focus on the numbers of how many people are reading it. It's just I'm trying to inform however many people are reading it, and I'm much more focused on the content and making sure that it's the newsletter's as good as it can be. But I'm really honored that so many people trust me, to inform them, and so it's exciting to me.
So where are you getting your content? And one thing I noticed just in this morning's newsletter, you talked about something that happened in the middle of the night. So you're waking up in the morning and you're getting your news. So, and you don't have to give away any secrets, but I'm curious as to how you're staying so up to date.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I really, kind of all throughout the day, I'm kind of checking the news. I go to school during the day, but when I'm not at school or when I'm doing my homework, I'm always checking the news. There's a lot of sources that I go to: the New York Times, the Washington Post, Politico, NBC, the Associated Press. There's really a large amount of sources that I go to, and I'm kind of checking all throughout the night. And then, by the time I go to bed, I try to have some kind of a rundown of just what I'd like to write about the next morning, and maybe some links to some articles I might want to cite from. But as you said, especially now, I could wake up and that could all be thrown out, and there could be new things happening. So I wake up about 6 a.m. pretty early and kind of get right to reading the news and trying to.
So you spend about an hour and a half every morning on this. Okay, and how much sleep do you get?
not as much as
Are
my
your mom
parents
and
would
dad
like
on this? Like, oh, come on, Gabe, you got to get to bed.
They're very supportive. I think
Yeah.
maybe they'd prefer if I got a little bit more sleep, but I think at least they're happy with what I'm doing with the time, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding, absolutely. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have more with Gabe Fleisher and Wake Up to Politics after this break, so please stay with us for more STL Live.